Hello my darlings, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Miranda and I am the Enchantress of Avalon. So as you can see from the title, today's just a fun chatty little video about Beltane and some exciting updates, and let's just get into it. So for those of you who don't know, Beltane is one of my favorite holidays of the entire year. It honestly basically ties with Samhain as my favorite. That's how much I love Beltane. And it's because of my deep bond with the Celtic Venusian energies and especially the Flower Brides and the May Queens. So this is definitely a time of year when I feel so alive and it's full of enchantment and beauty, which is why I just have to talk about it all month long. I love it so much. And that actually leads into some of my announcements. Firstly, for those who might not have seen it, I did start a May Day Beltane Lusty Month of May tarot reading special. I believe I mentioned it in my last video that all month May long, I am doing Beltane themed tarot readings over on my website. They are pre-recorded readings. You can just click on my shop and find the readings that way. I'll also post the actual reading link in the description box of this video to make things a bit easier for everyone. And yeah, all month May long and only May long, you will get a Beltane special tarot reading a Beltane special tarot reading. Getting tongue-tied. I'm excited, sorry. And that would include the Celtic cross spread with the Beltane Oracle, which is this deck right here with an oracle card pull from the Beltane Oracle. It's a beautiful deck, and I am so grateful that I get to work with this all month long. Although I work with it the entire light half of the year, so. But it's just great to be able to share that deck with everyone. And other than that, starting on this Friday, the Friday after this video goes live, I have a new service that I'm going to be offering on my website, which is mentorship sessions. So these are individual mentoring sessions, each an hour long, and it's if you want to work with me individually to help you come into a new understanding of something. It could be, hey, I'm getting into studying fairy lore. Where should I start? Or, hey, I'm not sure if these X, Y, and Z events in my life might have some supernatural, paranormal, metaphysical reasons. Can you help? Or it could be on building a relationship with the tarot, going beyond just doing divination purposes, and so many other things. I have a list of possible options that I can mentor you on in the description box of the service listing on my website when it goes live on May 9th. But I also already posted a blog post that gave all of that information, and you're always welcome to just email me. If you're uncertain if this is something I could mentor you on, email me, and then we can set up a mentoring session. Again, they will be 1 hour long. They will be on Microsoft Teams. You don't need to download Microsoft Teams if you don't have it. You could just click to join the link if you do purchase a mentoring session from me, and then I will record it as well, so you would have the replay available. And it's $55 for an hour-long session. Again, if you're interested, I will obviously have the blog post that describes it all linked down below for you. And then what is possibly the most exciting thing is I already announced this on my blog and on my socials, but I actually got published again. I have a poem published in this year's OM Grove, Voices from the Grove, that is, which is from the OM Grove Facebook group. There's a bunch of us who submitted things, and obviously the amazing editor approved me to be in this, and I am so excited and thrilled. He is a wonderful artist, and he of course has his own YouTube channel, which is also the Ohm Grove on YouTube. I can link that down in the description box as well if you want to check out his videos. And these are available at Amazon.com, and you could also get like the Kindle version. And yeah, so I do have a poem published in this, and it's only in this collection here. It's exclusive to the journal. I wrote it for this journal, and it is the theme of this year's, because this is annual. The Voice from the Gov is an annual publication. The theme is the Call of the Rose Queen and the Quest for One's Heart's Desire. And it's dedicated to the Queen of May and the Hawthorn Tree, which is why I just knew when I heard he was taking submissions that I had to go ahead and submit something. And I am so grateful that it got chosen. It's super exciting. It's the second time I got published. I got published last year in the Journal of Medicinal Plant Conservation. I had a monograph on the herb centauri that was published, but as a poet, I now can say I'm a published poet, because not just me self-publishing on my blog. So it's very exciting, and if you're interested, check it out. And other than that, that gets through all of my like exciting announcements and updates. But I also would like to just chat a little bit about Beltane and about how to celebrate. So obviously most people celebrate Beltane on the 1st of May, which is of course already passed. But you can celebrate Beltane for at least the first week of May, if not a little longer, because it's very much an energetic thing. And also, the day that this goes live is astrological Beltane, because it is the exact midpoint between the vernal equinox and the summer solstice. So that is May 5th, which is the day that this goes live this year. It does change year to year, which is why most of us that, celebrate tend to choose to celebrate on actual May 1st. But there's tons of different ways to celebrate. All are valid. And a lot of people will just say intuitively celebrate Beltane when you feel that energy of the height of spring is really in full bloom. And I've certainly been feeling that. But I also do tend to like to stretch out my Beltane celebrations as long as possible. And other than when to celebrate, there's so many different things you can do to celebrate. I love celebrating with song and dance and rituals devoted to, of course, the May Queens, Blodeuwedd and Rhiannon, and most definitely Guinevere, because Guinevere, as I talked about in my last video, just has always felt to me to be the most May Queen of all the May Queens, in that she just holds that energy so all-encompassingly, where she doesn't really delve into the other adjacent holidays as much as like Blodeuwedd still holds a lot of vernal equinox energy, the maiden energy becoming that Beltane lover, fertile sexual energy. And then Rhiannon does delve into this more motherly energy and the solar fairy queen energy that she holds so deeply as a solar fairy queen feels very midsummer to me. So they both kind of cusp the two holidays, whereas Guinevere is just so essentially Beltane. And I hope you don't mind. I have sun streaming through my window. I think it's actually quite lovely and really great for this kind of conversation I'm having. So, because I chose just natural light today, because I love natural light when I can have it, and I will always choose that over anything else. In any case, so yeah, celebrating with the May Queens is always a great thing. And this can be writing poetry to them or offering different flowers to them. Of course, anything hawthorn related is very Beltane, given it is literally the tree of May. But whatever feels intuitively right to you, that feels like you're honoring the energy of the earth being in its abundance and its fertility, and just being in tune with nature is the heart of celebrating any of the nature holidays, any of the wheel of the year holidays, the cross quarter days, the solstices and equinoxes. It's about being in tune with nature. So an intuitive insight that might not quite align with what people would normally think of for a certain holiday is completely valid if it's what feels true to you. Some of my favorite things, other than what I've already mentioned, include doing different like wine potions and having honey and fruit infused into wine. I like to heat it to do this, but you could also just let it sit in a bottle for some time to really absorb into it. And of course, sacred sexuality, huge at Beltane for this time of year. And any activity that really feels like you're celebrating what makes us alive and really taking pleasure and joy in being alive. So that's why we make flower crowns. That's why people have bonfires and jump over the bonfire. Unfortunately, I don't have the space to do that where I currently live, but I totally would if I could. And the maypole dance, of course. These are all ways of celebrating an alignment with the earth, celebrating the abundance and fertility of the height of spring, and celebrating the fertility of our own bodies and our connections to sacred sexuality, our connections to those that we love. It truly is a very potently alive time of year. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this short little chatty video about some fun updates to my business and my getting published. And of course, a little chat about Beltane, as I wanted to do this to show my love for the May Queens and for this time of year. I do apologize that the sun is really shining in a weird way right now, and I'm gonna call it a day because of that. I hope you have a very wonderful week, everyone, and have a very blessed rest of your Beltane season. Bye now.